Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Camille Lewis, and let's queer up gay culture. Queerphobic Fest is being planned in Boise. This is a doozy. Pride celebration. An anti-LGBT group in Idaho is making waves and raising eyebrows as it announcement of a so-called Heterosexual Awareness Fest, set for June 20 and 21 in downtown Boise, right in the middle of Pride Month. Critics worry events like this often mask homophobia under a thin veneer of patriotism and performative family values. The event website declares, quote, This ain't your lip wrist woke fest. This is a full-on celebration of family values with guts, end quote. What is that? The group behind the event, led by bar owner Mark Fitzpatrick, brands itself as, quote, a battle ready force in the culture war, end quote, railing against LGBTQ inclusion, DEI programs, and public education. Fitzpatrick's bar, the Old State Saloon, will host themed events like heterosexual karaoke and constitutional conservative conga line, led by someone dubbed Dancing Donna. The event announced that special event discounts will be given to XX and XY chromosome holders, though the bar hasn't explained how will they plan to verify anyone's DNA. The bar says, quote, this celebration of traditional gender norms and heterosexual awareness is set to be the talk of those who still believe in the charm of good old-fashioned, non-rainbow colored party, end quote. Events like this aren't new or particularly successful. In 2019, Boston's Straight Pride, hosted by super happy fun American, drew just 100 to 200 attendees, and as widely considered a far-right flop. California's version saw 20 attendees and 200 counter-protesters. I like that demographic. And in 2015, a Straight Pride march in Seattle had just one participant, the organizer himself. As Boise's queer community prepares to celebrate Pride, many are expected to show up and protest peacefully and proudly. I just love this. Like, this is all these tongue twister events and conga lines and stuff. I've explained this to Al when he first met. I have a dark sense of humor. I would show up just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
In high horror drag, I would show up.
Is that official category, high horror drag?
That should be one. I would make it a category. I was like, hello, I'm here to facilitate high horror drag. I would show up just for the hell of it. This is a mockery. And it's also like they're trying to force it in our face that you're proud to be heterosexual. If you're proud to be heterosexual, just be heterosexual. Right. You have to put on a full-on event that may not draw much attention, because let's be honest, it's you heteros that come over to our Pride and get more drunker than us and more happier than us and in the way of our performances while we're trying to perform and host events. So let's not get it twisted.
And I think what the heterosexual population doesn't understand is that Pride, the parades were initially in retaliation and protest, right? Solidarity. Showing that we have to fight for our rights. Right. We still have to fight for our rights in 2025. And the irony is they don't have to fight for any rights. So maybe that's why there's not much of a turnout, because there's nothing to retaliate against for them.
That's really interesting.
So, but it's sad.
But it lets us know we have your attention.
For sure.
And we're making you uncomfortable in the right way.
For sure.
For you to have to go on and try to make your own seat at the table. Like,
Yeah.
build your own. You told us that for years before
Well-
this anti-LGBTQ thing started. If you're not at the table, build your own. So we build our own. So what's
Yeah.
the problem now?
That's
But
right.
let's
Well,
also not forget that the Southern Poverty Law Center has long included Idaho on its list of hate states due to its proliferation of hate and anti-government groups. And as for the host of this event, Mark Fitzpatrick, I'll just bet Mark Fitzpatrick.
What is the old state
funny.
saloon? Listen to
You
the name
know,
of the bar.
we don't have to try to figure out why
Yeah,
Mark
no.
Fitzpatrick is doing this, because Forrest Gump's mother taught us this, and we should live by it. Stupid is
Stupid does.
There we go.
and that's what's going. You know, the good news for Mark Fitzpatrick and his announcement. I want to make sure we promote his bar, Old State
Saloon.
Saloon. Yeah,
Old State Saloon.
Here's the good news, Mark. You have every right to do this. I defend your right to do this because the First Amendment gives you the right to do
course.
this. As offensive as it is, you have the right to do it. So I cheer that. Now, that's it. It's amazing to me that an event called the Heterosexual Awareness Fest.
Such a
not
long name.
fake pride. It's the Heterosexual Awareness Fest.
Fest.
You are in a situation where, like your point of the need to stand up as they were pouring into the Stonewall Inn in 1969, and people were being pulled out by their hair and their ankles, and trans people and people of color were being abused terribly in 1969. That's exactly what is going on in the Old State Saloon in Idaho. Heterosexuals are being discriminated against. Oh, wait.
No.
Right?
No.
That's why this is so silly and funny, and while we laugh
Yeah.
through the entire story, Mark, I can't wait for you to try to identify your discounting, because I might
I
get
wanna
a
see
group
that
of
discount
people
code.
together and file a class action lawsuit to you that we didn't get our discount because you didn't identify that we were XX or XY. It's just a hilarious event. But you have every right to do it. Mark, I can guarantee you that Queer News Tonight is going to report.
Thank you. I was
on
about to ask, are we going to
on
follow this?
We're going to follow this event and cheer your right to do it on every step of the way.
And your right to fail.
But I can imagine on the Monday after your event,
We will cover
are
it.
you going to hear a lot of
Oh,
laughter?
we're gonna
in
cover
South
it.
Florida.
We're going to cover
And
it.
of Idaho and of Boise.
Boise.
Yeah. Good luck to you. All right. Well, that's a big LGBT story for today. Maybe not a big LGBT story. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBT stories by